Talk about the build-up for the match on Sunday.
It's
Too vague. Sorry.
It's a big match. I mean, build-up's good. We are trying to get them all ready. It's training as normal.
Talk about Bruce playing at home. Obviously undefeated this year. Very organized squad. Talk about the Galaxy themselves.
Have they had any draws there?
They've had about 7.
Okay, but undefeated.
Correct. They have not lost at home this year. Talk about that challenge, please.
It'll be a challenge. Bruce is a good coach. Get his guys organized. They have good players. But I believe we have good players. I believe we can be a good road team. Over the course of history of this franchise in MLS, we've been a good road team. So we're trying to get back there.
You've talked home tactics versus road tactics before. How do you balance that versus making sure your team is aggressive and sort of honed in as they are at home?
That is a great question because it's up to the players on the field to make decisions based on what they see. And so the home tactics versus away tactics are subtle, but sometimes those subtle differences are, can come up and creep up in moments in the game where if one team executes their game plan versus the other team executing theirs, it becomes an issue. Case in point, I mean, we've talked about our outside backs going, but Keane, Dos Santos, Gerard when he was in, I mean, those guys like to play in those soft areas, wait for the ball turned over, and then they're out on the counter. So the challenge will be for Joevin and Tyrone, Christian, Ozzy, the 2 center backs to be aware, but at the same time, we're not going to be afraid to try and pin them in their half of the field either. So fine balance, but something I'm confident the guys understand.
Sure. Resiliency in terms of if there's adversity, and if they score and how important it is just to keep plugging away on the road. Isn't that part of that?
We saw that against Portland. I don't need to comment anymore on that. This team won't give up.
What's the challenge of not knowing their lineup? I know you've talked about it's about us. We have to play our game, but not knowing because of their injury and their flux in their lineup. What's that challenge like?
Well, some of that, Matt, look, we've had a ton of games against most teams. The West Coast teams we already know. So we played against Keane, we played against Dos Santos. Okay, maybe Roman hasn't, but he's a quick learner, quick study. So, yes, there's some issues that creep up, but at the end of the day, we know LA fairly well.
Roman versus Keane seems like it could be an interesting battle. It doesn't seem like either one of those guys back down all that often. Are you excited to see how that plays out?
Yeah. Keane's a great player, fantastic player. Roman's a good defender. You could flip the question that you just asked. What about them? They don't know what Roman's all about. Might take Keane a few minutes to, figure out what he's all about on set pieces and stuff like that. So we'll present them a few problems, and obviously they're a good team. And, again, in the MLS, teams will always create chances. And it's just a question of which team takes theirs.
Coach, we saw Brad out there. How's he doing, and what's his status like for this weekend?
Every day a little better. He's available for selection.
How's Joevin doing? It looked like he might have headed out early.
We're just, about his toe, so he can't do all of training all the time. He's got to get it injected, so he's playing.